Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Why Integration Matters and Why You Need to Learn More About It. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Romeo Pierre, Vice President of Experience and Partnership here at AFDigital, your trusted transformation partner since 2011. Here at AFD, we're all about redefining the human experience with technology. We help clients look to innovate ways to engage, educate, inform, and capture more market share by making experiences with customers and employees better. It might sound simple, but hey, it's a challenge to some. Our goal for today's webinar is to help you all understand why integration is the foundation of digital transformation and to inform individuals about middleware and the value it brings to their business. Now, by no means is this a technical webinar. This is ready to get down into the nitty-gritty and help you understand why MuleSoft is so important. Now, why are we covering this today? This is a major conundrum for IT teams. Most IT teams are suffering. Only about 37% of them are able to complete projects assigned to them because they don't have the right technology around them, nor integration. Companies are spending on average 3.5 million on IT headcount to help manage custom point-to-point integration. Now, if you don't know what point-to-point integration is, we'll cover that shortly. Only about 18% of organizations can integrate end user experiences correctly. Now, that's a lot of percentages you're missing. Now, to help you ascertain how MuleSoft enables businesses to unify data and deliver single customer view, automate business processes, and build connected experiences, I have two amazing rock stars here for you all today. I have David Roebuck, which is our capability lead and technical architect, and I have the man, the myth, the legend, our principal solutions architect, Anshuman. Now, I would go into their background, but that'll take too long, but feel free to check them out on LinkedIn. Now, without any further ado, over to you two.
Thank you so much for that, Romeo. Appreciate having the time here this morning with you and Anshu. Good to chat, if not in person, but the closest thing to it. So yeah, it's great to be here to be able to learn more about MuleSoft, which is from the extended Salesforce family. I myself am heavily invested in the Salesforce platform, but I'm looking forward to learning more about MuleSoft from you, Anshuman, because you're the man in that area, and it's something that customers that I speak to have definitely been interested in as well. So I'm sure that our audience is keen to learn more. So with that out of the way, why don't we just start from the very beginning and ask, what is MuleSoft, Anshu, and how are APIs related to it?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, David and Romeo, for the introduction. Really excited to talk about MuleSoft and integration. Well, to start with that question, MuleSoft, what is MuleSoft? So MuleSoft is a middleware which helps two systems to talk between each other. Its foundation is APIs. When I say APIs, that is termed as application programming interface. So and MuleSoft is called as an API-led architecture. So when I say application programming interface, it's an interface between two systems. It's a medium where two systems can talk to each other in a simple language. Simply put, APIs is a layer in or an interface, like that connects the whole world together. If you see our day-to-day life, everywhere you'll find APIs in the background. Either it's Uber Eats or you do a booking in a flight. So you will everywhere it's an API in the background. To give you a real example, it's like if you go to a restaurant and you order food, and the kitchen delivers the food, your waiter is the missing link, and waiter is actually you can think of waiter as an API. The API takes your request, the API takes your instructions and goes to the kitchen and gets the food, delivers to your table. So that two-way communication between between you and the kitchen, which is delivered by the waiter, API exactly does the same thing. It's a two-way communication. and it takes your instruction and delivers it. So it's like a client and server, in that you as a customer acting as a client, the kitchen is the server. So that's the relationship between both. That's the idea behind API.
Yeah, thanks for covering that. That really helps with that base level knowledge. Although I am starting to get a bit hungry now that you mentioned the whole restaurant thing. I would also venture to guess that APIs return their responses a bit faster than the kitchen can deliver your food. But absolutely spot on with the analogy there. So if we now transition our thinking towards MuleSoft and how it can help companies that are struggling with integration, what would you say about how it can accelerate business transformation or digital transformation?
Well, so every enterprise now wants to go for digital transformation. So every enterprise should ask that question to itself, like, is your business undergoing digital transformation? And if yes, no, you have probably realized that the main challenge is the integration. So that's the bottleneck, you can say. And in traditional time, MuleSoft is like a black box. Like when something goes in, you don't know what's happening there. It's because it's technical. But now it's a time of MuleSoft, and you get a better picture of what's happening in that area. So if you take the legacy system, like so your organization has some legacy system as well. So you have to strategize those legacy system. Do you want to carry those with you in your cloud journey, or to accelerate your digital transformation? So either you decommission your legacy systems or you upgrade them to the cloud. So these are the very strategic approach, approach to create a hybrid and an integrated ecosystem with cloud applications. When I say hybrid, it means like a cloud and on-premise all acting together in one ecosystem. And also you have to meet the demands of your internal stakeholders and even your B2B partners, external stakeholders. So MuleSoft, it helps in that strategic approach to accelerate your cloud journey in integration.
It's such a good theme that you touch on there, Anshu, because it's very rare that a transformation journey begins with an entire green field where your strategic heads of the business can just establish whatever technologies they wish. Generally, there are, in my experience, legacy tools or a mixture of on-prem and cloud applications that all need to be considered, and it is quite difficult to do. That's why this whole space exists. So yeah, thank you for highlighting that. Are there any other challenges that you have come across for businesses that you'd like to explore around what MuleSoft is really strong at in terms of helping solve any of those pain points?
Well, when you say about business, now every IT has been business driven, and at the end of the day, you are working for a business and you want to see your business grow. And the real time challenges, in every business comes from different parts. So maybe it's if it's a field workers coming, your business cases comes from there. Even it's an internal team sometimes comes up with enhancements. So or maybe your external B2B partner is saying that it's a demand, we need this integration to be done. So all these challenges need a quick turnaround time, and also depending on those SLAs and urgency of these case, how business critical it is. Everything is so the traditional tools. If you see that there's a lot of dependencies, like on the code and developers, but with MuleSoft, that coding is much minimized at a much extent. So you can just configure, and with the matter of clicks you can bring up your implementations. So that minimizes your business challenges. Another issue is that your middlewares are your point-to-point connected and tightly coupled, so that it takes a long time to bring a new integration in place and to deliver it to the business quicker. So that's one of the best ways where you can utilize and reuse your implementations which is existing and bring up new implementations, so it can deliver quicker delivery to the business, and they can get the fruit quicker from your IT teams, and they can collaborate as well.
Yeah, that's such a good point, because when we talk about those point-to-point solutions that you mentioned, it's not to be critical of the developers who have created them, because it can be the best integration ever, but if it's not considered within a larger strategic approach, then it's not going to be very helpful in the future when you're looking to extend upon that. So I'm glad that you mentioned that as well. That definitely resonates for me. So it all sounds great. What I want to know, because I have not had to do an implementation myself for MuleSoft, how easy is it to get it up and running? Can you just kind of give us a sense of what that implementation looks like for a company that's kind of stepping their first toe into the water on MuleSoft?
Well, MuleSoft is a great platform. As any other platform, you need someone, some experienced integration practice to strategize your that practice in your organization. You want to lean on other people's experience and knowledge to make sure that you have the right strategy in place. Pretty easy to implement because it's a very lightweight tool. It comes with 3 different flavors. One is iPaaS. iPaaS is like you are going to a portal, you are just giving your username and password, and it's just started. You can bring up your code, your implementations very quick. You can spin up your infrastructure. So that's been taken care in MuleSoft. You are using MuleSoft architecture infrastructure. Sorry, so you do not have to manage anything. Another is on-prem, which is you have your data centers and you wanted to use MuleSoft and have your MuleSoft as your own private cloud in your own data centers. So that is one of the flavors. Another is hybrid. So if you wanted to have a mix of both cloud and on-prem, and run everything in a single runtime engine, so that is one of the flavors that MuleSoft has. So it's very easy and it's very lightweight, and you can bring up very easily.
Yeah, that's really good. The flexibility of what sort of infrastructure you want to use. I imagine that's something that not every product in this space can offer. Is there anything else that you would highlight around what MuleSoft can do that is a strength that perhaps some of the other products in this area don't do so well?
Good question. MuleSoft is a right choice, when it comes to your strategic approach. Rather than tactical approach, it's very comprehensive. It's very robust. So when I say strategic approach, because you wanted to think your roadmap to a longer way. It's not your tactical that you want to do, just do it and finish it and go to production. So MuleSoft gives you that strategic approach. With other tools, other products, real-time challenges at certain point, you cannot scale up your or innovate your implementations, and there is no going back because one of the reasons they do not have any standard framework. All are customized framework as well. So in many cases, you cannot with MuleSoft you have a very standard framework. That you have your experience layer, you have your process layer, you have your system layer. So it's a defined framework you work for, and it's very easy for architect and developer, to collaborate to that framework. Other most important thing is the ESB. So most of these traditional tools, doesn't comes with both the flavors of ESB and an API gateway. So you have to maintain 2 different applications for it. With MuleSoft, you get best of both the worlds. You get an API gateway, you get an ESB both together in one place. And of course, there are many more, like 360-degree view of your business, steadiness, uniformity of your data. You can see data flowing from at different stages of transformation. There are lots of them. We can cover them in our next sessions. But for these are the very important points that we can compare MuleSoft with other tools.
Yeah, that's great. Like to know that the platform is made not just for developers, but also for architects and anyone who's involved in the strategic planning is crucial, because then you kind of your adoption around the business elevates as well. So we're not going to go into too much more detail. I know we're going to get to some questions in a minute, but before then, can you just help for anyone who's looking to get started around learning more about MuleSoft, or maybe speaking to someone about what an implementation could look like, how would be the best way for them to learn more?
Well, MuleSoft has a very vibrant community, so they have different forums where you can join from a technical perspective. Also, you can reach out to our resident experts, to know more about our MuleSoft practice. We have a very very mature MuleSoft practice now, and we are here to help you guys. You can reach out, like to our through LinkedIn or any social sites we have here.
Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you for that. I think we'll pass it back to you now, Romeo. Wonder if we've got any questions from our studio audience.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Anshu. Great job, gentlemen. So now I'll open up the floor for questions. Okay, I have a question that came in for you, David. Let me scroll down. They said, knowing that you have an extensive background in Salesforce, have you had to come in contact with a lot of individuals wanting to transform their organization by utilizing MuleSoft?
Sure. So often when this comes up, the customer has no knowledge of MuleSoft or even any of the tools that are in this space. All that they know is that they have a pain point around integration, and that those legacy systems that Anshu is talking about are hopelessly disconnected from the rest of their tech stack. And so the question is often posed to us of, isn't there just an easy way to get the data? Isn't there some way that we can connect these pieces together? And that's where we start to, ask further questions around whether MuleSoft or another similar tool is right for it. Generally, if they're already in the Salesforce platform, which a lot of my customers are, then MuleSoft is the right one because it offers even tighter integration. But yes, certainly it is a very common experience to be struggling with how to make all your internal systems talk to each other. So yes, it is something that I see quite a bit.
Thank you, sir. Another question, this one is for Anshu. How can MuleSoft add value to Salesforce organizations?
Well, we are a Salesforce partner, and MuleSoft is a Salesforce company now. So MuleSoft is having a new product which is called as MuleSoft Composer, which is a great product itself in this year. It's there. So this with MuleSoft Composer, you can create your integrations inside Salesforce. There's no coding required. With a matter of clicks, you can bring up your implementations. You can bring up you can integrate your data through Salesforce to your external or internal tools. So Composer is very a great tool. We are looking forward for this year, and there are more releases coming up for Composer this year. So we're exciting for this product to come up this year.
Thank you. Another question that just came in. What is the length of time or duration that it normally takes to implement MuleSoft? So they probably want like a gauge from the shortest amount of time that you've seen it been deployed.
Well, it depends on the ecosystem, current ecosystem that you have. If you have, it depends on how many applications you wanted to connect. So so if you're talking about the smallest, and also it depends on the infrastructure as well, because you wanted to go, you have to do how the license works for you and what are the subscriptions that you need currently. So all these has to be strategized, and you need to come up with I would say like a month or two, like in a smallest organization, for example, to bring up 2 or 3 interfaces. But it really depends. It's very hard to say that how much time, but we study that. We study your ecosystem, we study your subscription, everything, and we come up with a plan to give you a proper estimate how much time and man effort that it will need.
Thank you. Looking to see what other questions is coming in. One moment. One more final question. This can go for either David or Anshu. What should people be considering if they want to try to add on some type of middleware solution to their organization? What are some of the key points that they would probably want to know about before making that journey?
I'll take that probably, yeah. Sorry, David, you want to go ahead?
That's one for you. You go.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So MuleSoft. So what are the key points that you wanted to know? Like, okay, which integration soft is important? Again, that comes with your applications, current applications. So but if you have more than 2 applications, which is you wanted to interact, or you have your B2B partners which want to connect to you. So I think MuleSoft is the best like way to integrate, because it's quicker and it's lightweight. Yeah, you can very easily bring it up in your current environment. It can be installed in any flavors, in Windows, in if you have an AWS account, you can bring up very easily. So so yes, it depends on your current integration, how your applications are connected, and what is your current state of ecosystem that you have, if you're cloud or on-prem. So all these features, all these comes up to like to get that strategy going.
Thank you. Another question that just came in: how are SMB companies balancing the investment in the platform versus the skills required to execute on the platform?
There are a lot of SMB customers that they wanted to scale up at certain point. You wanted to go to enterprise, and that. So in that way, you have to always get a partner which delivers more of your that has knowledge, and guide you through how your integration should be, and at what less cost you can implement your integrations, and go to digitize it, and then and scale up your current interfaces. So I would say, like, yeah, so that's you need a partner to give you the correct choice of these tools.
Thank you. Another question that came in: how does MuleSoft compare to the other platforms that exist, especially those that claim to have a lower code approach? And if you can explain what that means as well.
See, I come from different traditional tools. I come from Sterling Integrator, or many web methods. So these tools are good, but they have some limitations as well. So MuleSoft, with MuleSoft, it's you can say it's very less coding required, because it's like a drag and drop, and more configurations. So if you want to connect to a connector to another source, you just need to do configurations. Definitely, you need that mindset of, okay, what you are connecting to and what are the configurations you do. That background needs to be there, but it's very I would say, like, it's very easy. It's very easy to connect to external systems through MuleSoft.
And probably also what you said before about the Salesforce Composer elements, that's pretty much a no code or low code aspect as well, right? So if what you're trying to do is tie into anything that's already in the Salesforce platform, then it's simpler still, I would think.
And it reduces the developer dependency. That's what, like, is a challenge for most of these enterprise and SMB companies.
Mm.
Thank you. Another question that came in: does MuleSoft use pre-existing modules that perform specific tasks, and these are then tailored to the requirements? Do you need more than basic SQL knowledge?
If you're talking about by pre-existing, if you're talking about any Java code, any other code base that is lying, and you wanted to bring it up in your MuleSoft implementation, then if that's the question, yes, you can bring up those. And SQL is basic SQL knowledge you need, like, to connect to a database and get the data from there, basic. And nowadays you do not have to write the SQL codes, because those connectors comes up with so strong inbuilt SQL codes. You can just get your data without SQL, like, without writing a SQL code. It's very easy to get the data from through those connectors, standard connectors.
Thank you. A question that came in: when should companies start considering middleware or MuleSoft type of solutions?
Well, that's like, sometimes you see that you have already a middleware in place, and you do not want to have two Ferraris in the same garage, right? So and you have to you need to scale up again. That scale up and reusability of everything comes into picture. So if you think that MuleSoft, yeah, MuleSoft can, you have to at certain point you have to take those old and traditional tools and bring up to MuleSoft, or any other tools that gives you more strategic approach. I would say it's there are different ways where you can consider when you wanted to start getting what tool is necessary for it. So it depends on the current ecosystem again, and a lot of other factors depend, but we'll cover those in our next sessions to go more deep dive into those tactics, or how we can, what are the different ways we and approaches that we can take.
And just to add to that, I think it also involves how much of those stats that Romeo mentioned at the beginning apply to your own organization, right? If the IT teams are only completing 37% or less of the work that they're expected to do, then yeah, I would think now is a good time to start looking at it. Often it's hard to to know that. So hopefully your organization has some sort of measurement ability in place to be able to kind of reflect on those things. But that's what I would be starting with if I was asked the question. Are you getting the most out of your developer teams? Are you able to execute on your digital transformation in the way that you would like to? And if not, could the lack of solid, scalable integration be the reason? And often it is one of the reasons, at least.
Yeah.
Normally, I've heard it's when clients are having a lot of leakage in their funnel, or if they want to capture more market share. So basically, when they're trying to evolve or amplify what they're currently doing to get more market share, that's when they're trying to consider other methods and try to combine different data sets. Because obviously, if you understand your clients better than the competition, it's a no-brainer at that point.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. In conclusion, MuleSoft enables businesses to unify data to deliver a single customer view, automate business processes, and build connected experiences. By integrating your data, you can help stop the amount of funnel leakage, like I said, and increase ROI. Now, here at AFDigital, we'd love to talk to you a little bit more about integration, day or night, doesn't even matter. Reach out to me or any one of my esteemed colleagues. We want to help you create the business value and help you see through it.
It's 11:30.
Get in touch with us if you need anything else. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye now.